Buffalo Wild Wings got a sale going on. Sorry.
All right, we're waiting to see if we're going to pick back up here. That out. I need the other one. Go out. Don't go that far.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, good. FTR beat the inventory.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, we're back up. Cool.
We're up. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, we had to reset briefly there and re-go and try this all over again. There we go. Part 2. Part deuce. We're back. Young Bucks. Yay. Ketchup and mustard. I mean, a mustard and mayo. That's what they were this week. The mustard and mayo boys. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. Do you think it's time? Are we ready? Are we ready to do this? I think it's time for the world premiere, the debut of the Young Bucks music, or the Tampon Bucks music video. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy.
Yo, it's the remix. The Tampon Bucks. The Tampon Bucks. Super party.
Here comes your young boy for the TVVs, thinking that team, the church. Punk ain't impressed, he's got some beef with them. Their tampon suits just bring him grief. Or the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you just misled. If I round the ring, thinking they're on top, seeing Punk sees through and watches them flop. The flippity floppity like a circus act. CM Punk ain't buying none of that with their hot flying style and their flashy moves. CM Punk just sees a bunch of bile. Or the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you just misled. If I round the ring, thinking they're on top, CM Punk sees through and watches them flop. They may have the fans screaming and going completely wild, but Punk's not swayed, no, he's no child. With their fancy gear and their egos inflated, but Punk's not fooled, he's not sedated. Or the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you just misled. If I round the ring, thinking they're on top, CM Punk sees through and watches them flop. So here's to the tampon bucks. The tampon bucks, they're soaked to tie. But CM Punk's eyes will never reach high. They may fly high, but they'll always fall. Against the voice of reason, they smack the wall. The tampon bucks. The tampon bucks. I said the tampon bucks. I said the tampon bucks.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Tampon Bucks. That is your official music video from us right here at the Value Wrestling. The Tampon Bucks. That'll be up on the channel later as a solo video when we can get it up there. But yes, welcome to the show. We are back. We are working this out. The Tampon Bucks and their new music video. Mr. Z, I think you got a giggle out of that really good there. There you go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, I've been blocked by the Tampon Bucks. Mr. Clarke's been blocked by the Tampon Bucks. But Mr. Z, who's tried harder than both of me and Mr. Clarke have to be noticed and get it done, it's just you can't get blocked. Oh, AEW. I think we bashed on AEW for the first half hour of part 1. We're in part 2. WWE. The Attitude Era is back. Where did that come from? How the hell did we get one show that was awesome, which was the best show of the week, and that was Monday Night Raw? Anybody who thinks any other show was the best, I still want to know who that was. Somebody hit the wrong button. I think somebody wasn't paying attention, just hit other because it's their normal button to hit. Okay. Anywho, Raw is brought back the Attitude Era, and I'm like, I don't know how we even get that notion because I don't see an Attitude Era. I mean, I think we got a. And we're not going to get it. We had a great. Yes. No. But I mean, it wasn't even the swearing. It's more of what the ending where The Rock did the beatdown. I'm just like, it's a beatdown. It's not an Attitude Era thing. I mean, I don't know where we're getting this connection that all of a sudden WWE it's back into an Attitude Era. We got one match or one moment, excuse me, not a match. We got one moment on Raw TV that was really really good, and I mean, I don't know how people are sitting here going, "Oh, it's Attitude Era back, yay!" No, where? Yeah, yeah, and I don't even think WWE is pushing that narrative. I think that's just the IWC horribly. And I mean, we're not. I don't know what we're going to get on Netflix. I don't know what the standards and practices of Netflix are going to be. I don't know how we're going to get Netflix. At least we're going to get it on a regular time. You know, we're going to get to all watch it on East Coast time or DVR, which is fine by me. So at least we can start doing the Raw show earlier than so freaking late. But I mean, Attitude Era? Is this really an Attitude Era renaissance? I got the word. I knew it. Gentlemen, are we in a renaissance of the Attitude Era? I don't even think enough people are around to really understand what the Attitude Era was. I mean, we're getting a great build to WrestleMania, but I mean, the Attitude Era. Which part? You're still upset about Handy? You never met Handy? You've never had a lonely night and needed a handy? Anyways. It's okay. So you got more excited about her and Mark Henry and a cigar. Ladies and gentlemen. He was leading the way. Seberg, yes. Speaking of Seberg, let's just change it all up. There's not a whole lot to really. I mean, WWE. Oh crap! I forgot to turn your guys' mics back on. I've been talking to myself this whole time since we had to come back on. Damn it! I just looked over. Damn it! Technical difficulties. Somebody's not helping us. We need to. We need a moderator. We really need a moderator. So since we came back from the Young Bucks theme, you guys haven't been on mic. So I've been asking you stuff and nothing, guys.
Oh, okay.
Let's just skip all of what we talked about there with WWE. Let's just get into New Japan. Mr. Seberg, tell us what you got for New Japan.
Just your countdown to Sakura Genesis. The main event for that obviously is oh my goodness, and you made me have to go pull that back up again. I had it up a minute ago. And now I'm gonna go here again. Let's get to this. Hold on. Let me load it up here. I'm going. Give me 1 more second. Sakura Genesis. We're counting down to April 6th. Which they have no card for that one. Yes, they do. Okay. Your main event will be Tetsu Naito, Yota Tsuji for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And your co-main for that one will be Shingo Takagi and Evil for the never openweight belt. Now, mind you, Shingo has won the never belt, but has had the same amount of defense as Tama Tonga.
Ooh,
so, damn. Successful, right? It sucks. But we're counting down to that. But I really don't have anything going on this week. So this week, I'm just going to give you some history, some backstory. We'll talk about
soft serve.
we'll yes, we'll talk about soft serve. We'll talk about Will Ospreay. I'll talk about um Kota Ibushi because maybe people need to be reminded of how much of a badass he used to be.
Until he rode a bicycle to the ring.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I know it irritates you, but that's
And-
pretty much the only representative I have that's bad is him coming down on a bicycle. You understand that a casual fan or a fan who's not a fan of AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling, that would probably be the biggest spot for what he's done in AEW. So I know it irritates
You
you.
was listening to the Dave Matthews Band. You know, Crash Into Me.
And maybe you know what? If just for shits and giggles, we'll talk about our good friend Lance Archer.
Burger Hot
What kind of
Monster.
history he had there.
So let me ask you this: if I would have told you a year ago, Mister Zeberg, that the Switchblade Jay White, or now the Safety Scissors, as we call him, we're going to go 1-on-1 on Dynamite against Daddy Ass, would you call me a liar?
Yes, very much so.
Well, it's happening on Dynamite, so yeah. How's that make you feel?
Damn you, Tony. Damn you, Tony.
Can anybody explain to me why Daddy Ass is in the ring with Jay White? I mean, I get there's a storyline, the Acclaimed, and that I know they broke into Daddy Ass's house, I guess, on Rampage. Yada yada. I know they're creating a story, but why are we even pushing a narrative or creating a story to get Jay White and Daddy Ass in the ring together? How the mighty have fallen, and I'm not talking about Daddy Ass.
Yeah. Yes. Very much
I think I'd
so.
rather talk about the Mighty Neil than the Mighty Fun, but that's another story altogether.
There's a
Japan
badass stable right there, fellas.
I mean, I really don't know what to say. I mean, I look at it and I go, I don't know why these two are tangled up. You can't really give me a good reason to have Daddy Ass and Jay White. Jay White's not an upcoming star that, Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, whatever you want to call him, could help get over or do something with. It's like Jay White's already a solidified star who was just wrestling for the AEW World Title and got punked out, much as Wardlow got punked out. And now he's being regulated to facing Daddy Ass. He went from the main event to facing Daddy Ass. Is it?
And the thing is, it's
Yes.
not like Daddy Ass is okay in tag wrestling. In singles, he's never been
No,
great.
never. The one? No, I don't think so.
And this only comes about because Tony Khan put the Bang Bang Scissor Gang together, and then when that went bad, because nobody cared about it, and they realized, oh, I screwed up and needs to break them up. And now we're trying to revive. He's trying to bring back the Bullet Club Gold, which is pretty much everybody's looking at going, yeah, it's dead. You put him with the Scissor Bang Bang Gang. Why do we care? Now we have Jay.
You killed him.
You have Jay White wrestling Daddy Ass on Dynamite. Thank God it's not on Dynasty. Of course,
Juice.
we're probably gonna
Please get healthy. Get healthy. Come back.
no.
Bring the Bullet Club Gold back to the greatness they had.
Get healthy and go back to New Japan. Get away. Go rogue. Go Jack Perry level. I mean, why would you?
Or come to TNA and rejoin with the former Bullet Club, guys that are from TNA, the Ace and Bay Club.
ABC.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah,
Mhm.
ABC.
He needs to get away from AEW. I wouldn't want to get healed up. I mean, I can understand why some of these people don't want to wrestle on this TV show and they're just collecting checks. I mean, what? I mean, look at the former final boss. We had to get a new final boss of the Rock.
Just to sit here.
I mean, look at the new final boss. The Rock's the final boss, but Miro was the final boss before The Rock, and people were making the big issue about how WWE's copying that. And I'm just like, yeah, well, Miro never felt like the final boss.
Doesn't Samoa Joe's new shirt says final boss on it?
Does it?
Yes.
I don't know. Some of the shirts in
If he
AEW.
was booked right, I would buy that more, but
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Samoa Joe's a high-level boss. I just don't know about final at this point.
No, he lost that a long time ago.
When he left Ring of Honor?
Although you can't deny, you can't.
I mean,
can't
granted,
really
he was good in
deny what he
TNA.
does. Yeah, what he does with wrestlers when they try to do aerial moves, I mean, it's hilarious.
Yes, but that's not going to get you. I mean, it gets him over. It gets a good pop. It works for Joe, but I mean, it's not. If that's all he's got, then he's pretty sad in the water. I mean, Joe was a
Didn't help that
badass.
Cowboy did either.
Let's not talk about the Booch Cowman, the Booch Hangman. The Booch Hangman hung himself and is done. He hasn't survived getting hung. I don't know if it's the drinking of the blood or drinking the blood and then getting hung like a Booch. Or it's the fact that you tapped out and your explanation, I tapped out so Swerve couldn't win the title, and you're just like, even I can't even follow that logic. I mean, that is, I tapped out so you wouldn't win the title.
If that was his character all along, that's not been the character that's been built from day one.
Right.
Okay, so you could
overarching character.
So if it was the Miz, you would accept it easier.
No, because even the Miz isn't that bad.
Then
No,
who would fit that role then?
Logic.
Okay, who would you see tapping out like that?
I couldn't name you a specific character. I'm just saying if that was your character, from the get-go, and you're overarching, like you can see that from their personality, that they're just, some jobber that maybe, get some wins here and there, and they built it to that point.
So you're talking about Mark Briscoe.
The classic idea of what a chicken shit heel is like.
Yeah.
It's like from the right character, if I could see it. But the way Hangman has been, and then looking at his overarching character, you're like, that would make no bloody sense.
No.
Yeah.
I was still scratching my head like, what the heck just happened?
No, I don't know. I don't know how we're going down these roads. Dynasty is looking like a funky card. And MJF and all the bullcrap with MJF, I'm like, he's off the roster. So now everybody's like, oh, MJF's showing up at WrestleMania because they took. It's like, no. He signed to AEW. It's just Tony Khan's dropping the ball. His biggest move is to take him off the roster. But, I mean, they talked about the bidding war of 2024 for so long. Here we are, 2024, and there is no freaking bidding war. There's no talk about it. Making you forget about MJF so when he comes back, he's going to be hot. I mean, yes and no, but I'm like, why wouldn't you want to hold on to what MJF made hot? MJF made himself over. MJF did it. Nothing. Tony Khan didn't really do anything to MJF except give him the platform and let him go. And recognize that he couldn't do much about it and had to give him the title when the time came. But now, I mean, MJF not being on TV, is it better for business just to make MJF disappear so when he returns, it's a bigger pop? Or do you keep MJF fresh in the mind of people so people want MJF because MJF is proven, and even Dave Meltzer's own words, to be a hot commodity in AEW that keeps viewers interested. Would Tony get more viewers if we kept talking about MJF and hinting at MJF and stringing along MJF, or is it better just not have nothing to do with MJF? Just MJF's gone, even though he's injured, but not really gone.
Last time I checked, talking about the wrestler every now and again help people.
Well, I mean, I think on the level MJF is, I would think. Go ahead.
We get heat sometimes for calling Tony Khan a mark, for bashing AEW on things they could do better about.
Right.
Do we remember that MJF made a whole promo where he called Tony Khan a fucking mark on live TV?
Yeah.
And just because it was for the company and it was a story they put, so no one outside the company is allowed to say it or something, and point out the fallacies, the things that are not making sense.
Yeah, but you probably think that they get tired of us talking about it.
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to think. I mean, how do you just let MJF leave your? I mean, we're not talking about MJF. We built this building war of 2024, and then we're not talking about it. We're not even selling the bidding war of 2020. I mean, if you wanted to pull a Brian Pillman, why not do that? But I mean, they're not doing anything to capitalize, and it's just like, let's just take MJF out of the equation. I don't know if MJF's gonna. I'm worried that MJF's gonna have to rebuild himself. Yes, people are gonna know him, but are people gonna be as excited when he returns, or are the viewers gonna be there? Is our MJF gonna walk out and go, where did half of my audience go?
Oh, you mean like when Adam Copeland first came out, walked to one side of the ring, was going to run to the other side, but oh, wait a minute, there's not enough people there, so there's no point. Is MJF going to have an Adam Copeland moment?
Yep.
Or
Which would suck,
or is he gonna have
because
to
we
come
know
to
how great he
or is
is.
he gonna have to come to WWE and do like Andrade when Andrade looked over? Oh, there's people over there.
I remember what that's like. Oh, yes.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where we go with any of this. I don't know how we get back there. I don't know how we fix any of this. I mean, we bashed Tony, and we hate bashing. I honestly hate bashing Tony, but he just constantly
Mhm.
serves it up.
Yeah.
He constantly says, we're the AEW, we're the best wrestle. And it's like, you're delusional. You can have the best wrestlers, you can buy the best wrestlers, but if you can't book them, make sense. And then all these people, oh, there's stories everywhere. There's so many stories. Dave Bouncer out here going, there's so many stories that the AEW has too many stories. That's the problem with AEW.
Okay.
I'm like, what are some of the stories? I mean, okay, Swerve wants to beat Joe. There's a slight story there, but it's not really a cohesive story because it really involves Swerve and Hangman, and Joe's just kind of the secondary character in this story, and now they're focused on there. And then Wardlow was supposed to play a role in here, but got choked out. And now the Undisputed Era looked like the biggest joke, especially since they had the tag team tournament and lost in the first round. So, I mean, and Roderick Strong's storyline, of course, they came out on Collision tonight to celebrate with Kyle O'Reilly. So I wonder if Kyle O'Reilly is going to wind up facing Roderick Strong for that international title in some twisted way. Mercedes Monet's story is very confusing. It's like they keep saying, oh, I have issues with Will Nightingale, but it's still like, okay, if that's the story, then let's start. Yeah, I don't know. It's just backwards. It just doesn't help. And then Adam Copeland is done with Christian, as he says, and he's going to have this Cope Open, and now he's taking on Malachi Black, but he's not really taking on Malachi Black, because it's going to be on Rampage that Malachi Black's going to wrestle the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. On the same show that we get the House of Black versus Chicken and Eddie Kingston and the Chicken Kings, or whatever their names is, KFC. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the King, the Chicken, and the
So what, did Tony Khan remember that Christopher Daniels was in the back and was like, oh crap, I need to put you on TV for a minute. It's been a while.
Well, I think it's in their contract that they don't wrestle. There's something like if they don't wrestle within a year, there's some weird contract thing. They don't get a bonus or whatever. So I'm sure the Fallen Angel's like, hey, I want to get my bonus. Can I get a wrestling match?
I didn't know that was that simple.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, football players sign these contracts. If you get these many catches or pass for this many yards, you're going to get a bonus. So I'm assuming that, in these guys, if you got to wrestle a match, if you at least wrestle one match, you get a bonus. I mean, there's got to be something. I don't know. You get more of your merchandise sales. Who knows? I mean, this is Tony Khan. Tony Khan's just throwing money out the window. I mean, he's got people sitting at home. I mean, and Tony Khan, I think, probably has the largest wrestling roster to date, if not ever. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does. It's overflooded.
And then he's down in CMLL going nuts down there for no. And you're like, yeah, you make yourself look like a mark. He goes to other wrestling shows proving he's a mark, and he gets mad at anybody calls him a mark. Hell, attacks Bischoff because Bischoff stopped one podcast. Tony Khan didn't even say anything about Tony Khan. Tony Khan had to jump on at 4 a.m. and make a remark about Eric Bischoff sunsetting his podcast, which triggered Eric Bischoff to make wise choices, a new podcast immediately where he talked simply about Tony Khan. So Tony Khan set himself up for failure in that whole scenario. Like, what the Jesus of Jimbaba are we doing here? What the holy freaking snowflakes of, Go ahead. I know, go ahead. You want to interject, jump in there.
Wants to be WCW so bad, I don't understand why Tony Khan doesn't listen to Eric, the guy who was successful against the WWE. I mean...
Well, Eric refuses to work with Tony simply.
Inspired by WCW, both early on in AEW, the good stuff from WCW, and present day, the bad stuff from WCW. He is so enamored with WCW, but yet he will not listen to the guy who made it, who had the platform to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, at this point, Eric Bischoff won't work for Tony Khan because Tony Khan Eric Bischoff will not work for Tony Khan because Tony Khan made his statements about Ted Turner, and that was it for Eric Bischoff. So the closest Tony Khan's ever going to get to being WCW, I guess, at this point would to be call Vince Russo. And maybe that would be a heads up. Maybe that would be helpful. I don't know.
No. I don't care how bad Tony is. No. Delete. What the hell? No. What is wrong with you?
What can Vince Russo do? He can either do one of two things: make it better or kill it off, and we all be happy either way.
Jeez.
Why do you have to bring that man's name up here? Don't no one talk about that man.
That should be redacted, Junior.
Yeah. There's
I mean,
a reason
Vince
why Cornette calls him shit stain. Sorry.
Yeah, but you know what? I wonder if Cornette would even be willing to say, you know what, Vince Russo, go ahead, go work for AEW, just to see it wither and die. Hell, at this point, you know, Eric Bischoff's giving more credit to Dixie Carter. He's like, she'd be there, she was a part of things, Not the greatest thing, but yeah. That's sad when Dixie Carter is becoming a better boss than Tony Khan.
And on that note,
I don't know where to go with any of this. Let's see here. Do we have a full WrestleMania card? This looks like the fullest I've got here. So are we offended that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is being regulated at SmackDown?
No.
Unlike that dude from New York, I don't give a damn if it's on SmackDown, if it's on the preview, or if it's on the main event or the main card itself. The fact that it's there and they're keeping it alive, I think is a good thing.
I'll take it.
I think it's fine there. It does what it does, and it helps fill in SmackDown because SmackDown's kind of getting lost in its shuffle because it's really SmackDown's going to be watched, but everybody's going to be more worried about the Hall of Fame than SmackDown that night, I think, because the Hall of Fame is once a year and a bigger deal. SmackDown, and then SmackDown's the night before WrestleMania, so you really don't want to put too many of your big stars out there and showcase them in matches. So we know SmackDown's kind of going to be a wash of a show, so why not do the Rumbles there and move forward?
Yeah.
So this is the official card I think I have. We have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Jade Cargill getting a big... WrestleMania.
That's SmackDown?
Okay. WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania card as I know it. As it's posted. This is from Sports Kita, so I mean, this is the closest we're going to get. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Jade Cargill winners. Who's going to win?
Her first actual win, though.
I think Jade Cargill probably picks up the pin. How did you guys feel? I know a lot of people were back and forth about the Jade Cargill when she put down Kairi Sane with the Beth Phoenix move. I forget what it's called. The Glam Slam. And then she pinned her and went all the way back and licked her hand.
Jaded. Or at least
Jaded.
That was
Anyways, how do you guys feel about what she did after the move and kind of pinning her, leaning back, and licking her hand? Some people,
she's been doing that since AEW.
That's her.
That's nothing new to me.
People are having issues with it. They're like, "Why? Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, what is she doing?"
Ooh.
Apparently, you all haven't been watching hers before her WWE appearances. This is nothing new.
LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Man. See, I kind of want Dom to win, but it wouldn't surprise me that if Rey and Dragon Lee go over.
Yeah,
they kind of maybe want to have that, not fairy tale ending, because I don't think this is the end either. But that.
Well, I think they just introducing Dragon Lee. You're going to see the LWO get the big win here.
Yeah.
Ow. My heart right now is with Dom, but yes, I feel like LWO is going over.
Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match.
Logan Paul's walking out with that belt. It'd be the right move. Let him hold on to it just a little bit longer.
I don't know. He's been getting the one-ups on everybody. He knocked out Kevin Owens and got them pinned by Pretty Deadly. Orton didn't get his hands on him. They took out Pretty Deadly. I don't know. And I don't know. Logan Paul is the, I mean, you could, but I don't know. Hard to say. I don't know who wins this match, really.
If you kept the title on Logan Paul, obviously that means you're still building Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is too good for that belt. Sorry, in a discussion, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin Owens has been kept in that high mid-card, low main event level space, so it wouldn't surprise me if they gave him the U.S. title for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So really, it's like, to me, Randy Orton's not even a question. The question is, are they going to keep it on Logan Paul, or are they going to give it to Kevin Owens?
I think Randy's going to be turning heel against either Randy's gonna, either Logan Paul's going to retain the belt and Randy and Kevin Owens are going to go on a tag team run a little bit, or Randy's going to go. Kevin Owens is going to win and Randy's going to go to face Cody for the title, possibly. I don't know how much of the rest of the bloodline and the interaction, and I mean, there's a lot to be there, but we may be seeing Randy get pulled into that to align himself with Cody first, and then eventually turn on Cody.
That would be the smart play as far as story goes.
Jimmy versus Jay.
Jimmy, be down, big brother. Come on.
Yeah. I give Jay.
I think it'd have to be Jay, but I don't know. I have a slight feeling Jimmy and Solo, and they might be dirty, sneaky things here.
Yeah.
A dirty win to continue this feud. I don't know if we're going to get this over with. This may wind up like a Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy situation. And Jay may be the one that does it into himself. Jay may let his emotions rule him where he does get pinned by Jimmy.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
That's a tough one. Because this has been pretty good.
I think they would want to continue to build LA Knight. So my prediction is going to be LA Knight to go over.
I don't know. It's hard. I think AJ seems to be LA Knight seems to be getting the better of AJ. So I'm wondering if AJ is going to win this. Start this real heel run. And maybe they'll be smart and bring back the OC and align him with AJ and let them help AJ. Maybe they'll waken up, or maybe AJ will have a talk with them and help him beat LA Knight. You could continue to field, and maybe you line Kevin Owens and Randy Orton with LA Knight to take on AJ Styles and the OC to give all those men something to do in the future, because I don't know what they're going to do with Cody in the title, or if Roman still holds on to the title. I don't know how that plays in, The Rock and all those things. There's a lot of elements that could be interesting here. So, I mean, you could do it, and I just want to see the OC do something. I think the OC needs to line back with AJ, period.
Very much.
Yeah, definitely.
The fun match, the match I think one of the big matches everybody's waiting for, the ladder match, the six-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team titles, Judgment Day, DIY, The Awesome Truth, The New Day, A-Town Down Under, or Young Boys, The New Catch Republic, and yeah, that's all 6 teams there.
Sorry, guys, I'm cramping.
Just remember,
Oh Lord.
DIY. I'm definitely going with that one.
oh yeah. Yeah, I
can't
think
say for sure. I can only tell you who I want to win.
I think
can't say who's going to win.
I think DIY should be the winners, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point they wouldn't pull out the Awesome Truth just to screw with us.
Right.
See, I got a different pick completely out of all that.
Who?
Yeah.
A-Town Down Under.
They're not there yet.
Here's the thing. It's kind of like the Dom scenario, where it's like if you put a belt on them, if you put the tag belts on them, how much more heat would they be getting? The fact that they're champions, 1.
He's got a
and
point.
2, however they slide by to maintain those titles.
With Triple H's booking, I have to say DIY, because I think this is the restart of the DIY story that we never got to finish, because I know Triple H has been dying to finish that story. So I think DIY, this is going to be a big match to make the titles, put the titles on them, to make their place in the tag team division. They will go all the way to next year, and maybe A-Town Down is the ones, A-Town Down Under is the ones to beat them next year at WrestleMania. And then we can see the separation of Gargano and Ciampa. Because I just feel Triple H he never got to finish the story he wanted. And I think even Johnny and Tommaso Ciampa wanted to finish that story. So I think we're finally going to get that. That's the one reason I really push for DIY. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Champion.
Gunther. I don't see Sammy winning it.
Really?
I would say I think Sammy is. Because I don't know what else you can do with the Intercontinental Champion and Gunther.
Yeah, it's true.
Sammy has a lot more to gain
Plus,
here.
on
And
top of that,
Go ahead.
plus, on top of that, the story they're building between Sammy and Chad Gable, it's like there's something that's kind of brewing there. Whether Chad could become an advisor to Sammy, whether Chad turns on Sammy at some point, over the Intercontinental title. I'm just saying, I can definitely see Sami Zayn going over, and it wouldn't hurt Gunther to lose to someone who's already who's been in a main event level spot for a while now.
Yes,
that's true.
Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Becky.
I think they're going to give it to Becky.
Becky.
I know a lot of people want Rhea to continue this reign, but I think it's going to be Becky.
Yeah.
I love both. I don't know how to pick between.
Yeah, right.
Now I could see Rhea losing to Becky and then stealing the money in the briefcase from Damian Priest some way on Raw the next night or on Monday night, and then go ahead and cashing in somehow. I don't know. I don't know why I feel that, but I just feel Rhea's going to steal that briefcase. There's just something about Rhea that I could feel and it be viable. How they're going to work it out, I don't know, but I'm not going to be surprised if she decides to steal that money in the briefcase to get her belt back, which would make sense. She loses at WrestleMania to Becky. Now she's pissed off. She's trying to figure out how she gets that belt back. She sees that briefcase and she's like, why the fuck not? Yeah, I think it's a good storytelling. It changes.
All they have to say is that the contract doesn't have a name on it, so she put her name on it.
Exactly. Io Sky versus Bayley.
Bayley.
And not because of who has a nicer butt. Excuse me, my bad. I should have said that. Anyway, don't hate.
You shouldn't have said that. It's okay. Apologize to that lady. But just because I feel like it's her time, it makes sense. It'll bring that whole damage control thing to a close.
Thing is, being such a Bayley fan, obviously I want to see Bayley win. But by the same token, if they want to really build Io Sky, because they've built Rhea Ripley, they have not done the same with the WWE Women's Championship.
That's true.
They have not built her the same. And it's only been the last few weeks that they've even always think, oh, that's right. We need to tell this story too. Now, part of that was get through the Royal Rumble and blah, blah, blah. But
there you go.
They could have been building her long before rebuilding Bayley.
Yeah.
So if they want to continue to build Io, it wouldn't surprise me. But by the same token, it's like, well, look at the story they've told us so far. You can definitely see Bayley going over because damage control has been getting one all over her for the last several weeks.
Just real quick, I know we stated this earlier, but folks, if you see me moving around and standing, that's what 20 miles does to a 39-year-old body who's out of shape. It doesn't do this often. So, sorry, folks.
Anyways, night one's match, the Bloodline versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes.
Cody and Seth.
Bloodline. It's got to lead into this.
I believe the Bloodline.
It's going to be more adversity for Cody. I think Seth is going to lose this. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if Drew's going to play into this. I don't know who else is going to play into this. I don't know if we get a debut. I don't know if a one Samoan werewolf shows up or other buddy there. Who knows? Maybe there's a New York, an ex-New York cop that shows up and helps out. I don't know. Supposedly he's supposed to be in town for that event. So, anywho, we got to give a shout out to our buddies there. I just feel like it's going to be a Bloodline because the Bloodline rules just feels like it's going to up. We have to see. Of course, they could lose, and then
a cage match, an anything goes match, a Bloodline rules match.
Of course, Cody and Seth could win, and then The Rock be like, "Well, I'm the chairman of the board, so I'm going to put myself as a special referee in that match." I don't know. Something funky is going down. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, gentlemen.
I still believe Drew McIntyre is going over.
Yeah, it just feels that way.
He's doing too much good work.
Yeah, really good work. Heat magnet. I'll take it.
And plus the eventual Death is gonna have to face CM Punk at some point. CM Punk's gonna have to face Drew McIntyre at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
think it
think
would make more sense to have a title on the line.
Drew may take it. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to say. Especially we don't know what The Rock or the Bloodline will do to Rollins for interfering in all of this.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So, The Rock versus Cody. It better be Cody in the story.
Absolutely.
Rollins versus Cody? Yeah.
I don't think there's much debate about that. Anyway.
Mm-mm.
You know what? I think real quickly we're going to run back that music video because we did it once. But again, we had to come back, reset. So if you're here, we're going to run back the music video one more time. Tampon Bucks music video brought to you by the Value Wrestling. We're going to give it to you one more time here. We hope you're excited. Let's get this up and running. Enjoy.
Yo, it's the remix. The Tampon Bucks. The Tampon Bucks. Super Flop Party.
Here come the young bucks with their EVP suits, thinking they're the kings, but they're just recruits. CM Punk ain't impressed, he's got some beef with them. Their tampon suits just bring him grief. Oh, the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you're just misled. They fly around the ring, thinking they're on top. CM Punk sees through and watches them flop. The flippity floppity like a circus act. CM Punk ain't buying none of that with their high-flying style and their flashy moves. CM Punk just sees a bunch of bile. Oh, the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you're just misled. They fly around the ring, thinking they're on top. CM Punk sees through and watches them flop. They may have the fans screaming and going completely wild, but Punk's not swayed, no, he's no child. With their fancy gear and their egos inflated, but Punk's not fooled, he's not sedated. Oh, the tampon bucks, soaked in crimson red, thinking they're hardcore, but you're just misled. They fly around the ring, thinking they're on top. CM Punk sees through and watches them flop. So here's to the tampon bucks. The tampon bucks, they're soaked to tie. But CM Punk's eyes will never reach high. They may fly high, but they'll always fall. Against the voice of reason, they smack the wall. The tampon bucks. The tampon bucks. I said the tampon bucks. I said the tampon bucks.
Yeah, you know it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for enjoying that. We will get that posted up on the channel at some point. I don't know if Mr. Clarke will get that up. One of us will get that up eventually here within the next 24 hours. We'll get that up on the channel.
Oh, yeah.
We thank you for joining on this late night Saturday night for your weekly roundup. We know it's normally Sunday, but we all kind of forgot it's Easter tomorrow. But we kind of shifted. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for tuning in for both of these. I know we had to cut out in the middle and restart, refresh. And we thank you for joining us on both shows. I think both shows ran almost an hour. So that's awesome stuff. Lots to talk about. Again, we don't necessarily hate Tony or the wrestlers in AEW. We just hate Tony's booking.
Do better. Do better.
Quit. Get off Twitter. Quit booking. Give it to somebody who you trust that knows what they're doing with it. Scott D'Amore.
Yeah.
Anyways. Gentlemen, is there any final things you want to share, say, or do before we get out of here tonight?
Well, sheesh,
I'll
now
see
I
you
want to
guys.
start a Hire D'Amore chant. Hire
Oh,
D'Amore. Hire D'Amore.
I'll see everyone on Tuesday.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know Miguel Z, the Z-Berg. That's, Mr. Z-Berg does the New Japan Rebound podcast each and every Tuesday. That comes out. And of course, Mr. Clarke and I are here on your Mondays with Raw, your Wednesdays with Dynamite, your Fridays with SmackDown, and then Mr. Clarke brings you This Week in Preview on Thursdays. I bring you each and every morning This Week in Wrestling History. We're about to hit that 183 mark, the halfway point. Then we're going to cut it down as we count down 1 year of this. Sometimes you regret saying that you're going to do something. Making a video every day for a year, even if it's a 60-second short. I don't know how some of these people record every day and do 15, 20-minute videos because even doing these shorts is tiring because you got to get up and do it. And some days I'm just like, I don't know, I want to do it, but I get up and do it because that's the agreement we made. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, give us a big thumbs up. Ring the bell for notifications so whenever we go live or new content comes out in the channel, you'll be notified. Hit that subscribe button. We want to make that march to 1,000. The 1,000 brings you the Mr. Clarke dance-off, the Shoey by Z-Berg over there, and we're going to have a WWE or AEW action figure giveaway to once we hit the 1,000 mark. So you want to get in on that. And plus, there's so much more stuff coming. We're working on doing live feeds, working with local independents. If you're a local independent federation in the Northern California area, Bay Area to Northern California, please reach out to us at thevaluewrestling@gmail.com. Let's get connected. Let's help support you all. Let us talk about you. Advertise your shows on the channel. We can come out to your shows, maybe interview fans, maybe interview the wrestlers, help them get over, get knowledge. Work together, find a partnership. If you're an independent wrestler and want to get some airtime, we're more than happy. We'd love to sit down with anybody involved in the world of professional wrestling to do an interview and work with. Other than that, if you're Jim Cornette or Eric Bischoff or a Tony Khan or anybody in the big leagues, a Murder Hawk Monster, hey, we invite you on the show too for a platform.
Open.
Always. Other than that, I think that covers everything at this time. We're going to shut this show down. We're going to get out of here. We're going to wrap it up. Now, next week, the weekly roundup probably won't be live. Probably won't happen because we have 2 nights of WrestleMania. We're going to do 2 shows after WrestleMania, so I really doubt there'll be a weekly roundup of podcasts.
No.
Friday SmackDown review will be interesting. We'll update you once we know what the time is of the Hall of Fame and SmackDown. I think for the West Coast, it's probably going to be Hall of Fame and then SmackDown, so we may be a little adjusted on when that'll come out because we got to watch the Hall of Fame and then get that other part out. So bear with us as we get to the end of the week, but we will definitely be here to cover all WrestleMania. It's going to be a fun time in the hot town tonight. Gentlemen, I would say fair adieu. So long. Goodbye.
Good night,
And
folks.
we will get out of here. If I can find all the buttons. There we go.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a